What's being called the first major commercial plane crash in the United States in more than a decade. The collision of a regional jet and a Black Hawk helicopter last night over the Potomac River has raised questions and concerns, including from the president. Thank you for joining us for your news at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor, and we'll have more on that mid-air crash in just a moment. But Nathan, we're also under a weather impact alert at this time. Tell us more about that.
Good afternoon, Jurnee. I told you it was going to be a super soaker Thursday out there. That certainly has been the case. We do have that THV 11 weather impact alert. That will continue all the way through this evening's rush because heavy rain is expected to continue throughout this afternoon. Here are the latest flash flood warnings now encompassing several counties just to the west of Little Rock. So watch out for poor drainage areas, low-lying areas. Those smaller creeks and streams on those back roads are probably doing some flooding, especially in the hilly areas, the Ozarks, and also the Ouachitas. Here's a radar loop right now. Heavy rain continues to fall. White County, north central Arkansas, just on the edge of Little Rock Metro, and then extending back through the River Valley and also the Ouachitas. Meanwhile, down to the south and east, Pine Bluff, Monticello, Fordyce, Hampton, you're all saying, hey, where's the rain? It's coming. It's going to get there through the course of the afternoon. And here we go. We have this band of rain extending all the way back through the Arklatex, and all that has to make its way through Arkansas. So this river of rain will stick around over the next several hours. Look at your rainfall totals already approaching really over 3, almost 4 inches of rain since the past 24 hours. Walk you through here. The last of the rain starts to move its way into central Arkansas around 5 or 6 o'clock, but we also have to watch out for those cells down into southeast Arkansas. There's a small risk we could see some strong, possibly severe thunderstorms. I'll have more on that coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Well, first responders who've so far pulled more than 24 victims from the water after last night's collision between a passenger jet and a military helicopter say they do not believe anyone else has survived the tragedy. The jet, traveling from Wichita, Kansas, was preparing to land at Ronald Reagan National Airport when it collided with an Army helicopter. Natalie Brand has the latest from Virginia.
Washington, D.C.'s fire chief says the rescue mission in the Potomac River has now turned to a recovery operation.
At this point, we don't believe there are any survivors from this accident.
Earthcam video shows the moment a commercial passenger jet and an Army helicopter collided in midair just before 9 p.m. near Reagan National Airport outside Washington, D.C.
Both the helicopter and the plane crashed in the river.
Video obtained by CBS News shows what air traffic controllers would have seen. The Black Hawk at the top of the screen appears to move directly in the path of the jet operated by PSA Airlines.
We don't know why the military aircraft came into the path of the PSA aircraft.
President Donald Trump is pushing for an explanation.
We'll find out how this disaster occurred and we'll ensure that nothing like this ever happens again.
The Army says the Black Hawk helicopter was on a training flight with 3 service members on board. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said on social media that the DoD is actively investigating.
It was a fairly experienced crew and it was doing a required annual night evaluation.
This is the first major commercial crash in the United States in around 16 years. Officials are hoping the black box flight recorder helps investigators figure out what happened.
Anytime you have 2 airplanes close together, they will then go to visual separation. The real question, of course, is why did that visual separation break down to this disaster that we have right now?
A number of figure skaters, along with their coaches and parents, were among those on board the plane, including 6 people from the Skating Club of Boston.
2 coaches, 2 teenage athletes, and the athletes' moms. It's a close, tight bond, and I think for all of us, we have lost family.
In a statement, U.S. Figure Skating says, quote, "We are devastated by this unspeakable tragedy and hold the victims' families closely in our hearts." Natalie Brand, CBS News, Reagan National Airport.
The Clinton National Airport in Little Rock released a statement this morning saying in part, quote, "We are incredibly thankful for the emergency responders and teams supporting families during this difficult time," end quote. Now, in a THV 11 update, Little Rock police have arrested the man they say shot and killed a woman in the Park Plaza Mall parking lot Monday. Abdul Rahman Amin Salam was taken into custody last night and faces a capital murder charge. We've also learned today that police are investigating the incident as a robbery that ended in the shooting death of 47-year-old Cynthia Gregory. Salam is currently being held in the Pulaski County Jail on no bond. The Jefferson County Quorum Court met once again last night to try and solve a 5-week-long government shutdown, but left with no agreement. Without County Judge Gerald Robinson there and only 7 justices of the peace, the group couldn't conduct business. Meanwhile, hundreds of county employees have been without pay since the start of the year, and local volunteers and businesses have been helping tide them over. One event in Whitehall on Wednesday featured representatives from utility companies on hand to offer extensions.
Right now, they're getting hit very hard financially, but then that worries into, I can't pay for my bill, I can't provide formula for my kid, I can't, eat this week, and so now I got to choose which one. So we didn't want them to have to worry about that.
And the ripple effects of the shutdown reaches across many agencies. The county coroner is reaching out to funeral homes to store bodies because the electric company sent a shutoff notice to the morgue. A bill that would eliminate affirmative action in Arkansas is getting closer to becoming law. On Wednesday, state senators voted to pass Senate Bill 3. The decision didn't come without intense debate as lawmakers on both sides delivered passionate testimony. The bill bans discrimination based on race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin, but also ends programs that help minority communities. Lawmakers like Democratic Senator Clark Tucker opposed it.
These programs were created surgically to where they could have the most impact. This bill is not surgical. This bill, to Senator Clark's point, is a blunt instrument.
But it's the time in history to change that because it's time for us to treat everybody equally.
Senator Dan Sullivan pushed a similar bill 2 years ago that passed out of the Senate but failed in the House. Also at the Capitol, a bill to expand raw milk sales in Arkansas took a key step forward. House Bill 1048 passed the House Agriculture Committee with unanimous support. Right now, farmers can sell only unpasteurized dairy products directly from their farms. This new measure would lift that restriction. The debate over raw milk is making waves even in Washington, D.C. Cleanup and recovery continues on the West Coast in the wake of several devastating wildfires in the Los Angeles area. Some people who've been displaced are now calling RVs home as they decide their next moves. Jasmine Ville reports from California.
This was the front porch.
This was Mike Curran's childhood home on North Raymond Avenue. Only the chimney is left standing.
Isn't that a beautiful design there?
It was destroyed in the Eaton fire. Luckily, a family friend allowed him to use their guest house, but he needed a long-term solution as he rebuilds.
This will be my home. I've got a sleeping area back here and a desk to work from here.
And that solution came in the form of an RV delivered right to his doorstep.
I'm still figuring it out, and pardon the clutter.
It's all thanks to one dad and his daughter who started a nonprofit called emergencyrv.org in 2018 after the Camp Fire destroyed thousands of homes in Northern California in 2018.
I mean, shelter is the most basic human need, and these people need help.
We're out in Altadena, California.
Since then, Woody Fairclough has gifted over 250 RVs to families who've lost their homes in natural disasters all over the U.S.
He is backing it in now.
He jumped right back into action after the Palisades and Eaton fires broke out.
Yes, sir. We're going to give you the keys, and we're going to give you a clean title to it. It's a gift to you, sir.
He hit the road from Colorado, driving the first 2 RVs to Altadena this month for Curran.
This is home now.
And Army veteran Robin Adkins.
Okay, this is it. This is home for us for right now. We don't know how long, but this here is going to do us real fine.
Adkins will live here in this Pasadena parking lot with his wife and 4 dogs until they can move the RV onto their property that also burned in Altadena.
It was difficult. I didn't think we were going to be able to find anything here. I thought we were going to have to go out somewhere to an RV park or something. I didn't want to do that. I want to stay close to home.
This nonprofit has already gifted 5 RVs right here in LA County with more on the way. But finding a spot to park these RVs long-term has been challenging. So the LA County Board of Supervisors just passed a motion to lift restrictions to park RVs long-term at county parks during this emergency.
You know, parking's always a tough issue.
Faircloth says they need donors. More than 150 families are on their list for RVs to give them back a sense of normalcy and hope.
I'd like to be here while the home gets rebuilt.
In Altadena, Jasmine Veal, KCAL News.
Some of music's biggest artists are coming together tonight in Los Angeles to raise money for people impacted by the devastating wildfires. Sting, Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers are among the performers slated to take the stage at Fire Aid, a benefit concert for wildfire relief. Many artists, songwriters, and musicians lost their homes, instruments, and studios in the fires. You can stream the event for free tonight at 9 on CBSNews.com, the CBS News app, and Paramount Plus. Well, a Conway woman who went viral celebrating her bar exam results is sharing her story with Jennifer Hudson. Hadia Cummins passed the test just months after graduating from Yale Law School and losing her mother. Now, Arkansas's newest attorney is giving back, founding a nonprofit to support other women of color in law. You can watch Hadia's inspiring interview this afternoon on the Jennifer Hudson Show at 4 p.m. right here on THV 11. A 43-year-old cold case now helping an Arkansas family gain closure. Coming up, we'll tell you what authorities found that has them nearing a possible conclusion.
Heavy rain and potentially flooding rains will stick around through the rest of the afternoon, and we still had that THV 11 weather impact alert until about 7 o'clock. Even after the rain ends, possibly during the evening rush, the roads will still have ponding, so you have to watch out for hydroplaning. The weekend, though, that forecast looks much better. You're going to love that forecast coming up.